Hello everyone. There are 7.5 billion people on this planet, and each one of us is unique in some way. But there are people who, let's just say, they stand out from the crowd. They look unusual and do strange things, which the rest of us don't quite understand. In today's video, we're going to talk about people whose lives and hobbies are quite hard to believe. Let's get it on. Hands up. How long can you stay in the same position? After a couple of minutes, your muscles will probably go numb and start aching. Most people are probably familiar with this situation. You fall asleep in an uncomfortable position, and in the morning you can't stretch your limbs. But there is a person in the world who's been in the same position for over 40 years, and he's still alive. Meet Sadhu Amar Bharati, the man who raised his arm and has never put it back down. Until 1973, Sadhu used both his hands like a regular person. People say he had a fairly ordinary life. A wife, 3 children, a middle-class family. All in all, Sadhu was just a regular Indian guy. But one day, he decided to devote himself to religion. Sadhu visited the holiest places in India, and after several years of wandering, he made a promise and raised his right arm forever. Since then, the man has not once put it down. After several decades, his arm has completely dried up and looks like a skin-covered bone. Basically, his arm has atrophied, and the strange twisted things at the end of his hand are his nails. That's what happens if you don't cut them in time. Sadhu suffered greatly at first, as his body didn't like this much, but now the man lives in harmony with his arm. Colander on the head. Pastafarianism was originally conceived as a parody religion by physicist Bobby Henderson in 2005. This scientist probably didn't imagine that his creation would become so popular. In many countries, the churches of the flying spaghetti monster are fighting to become an official religion, and in some cases, it worked. In New Zealand, for example, Pastafarians can celebrate marriages according to their traditions. But the most interesting thing is their headdress. Followers of Pastafarianism must wear a colander on their head. It's considered a religious headdress, which means that a person can take ID photos with this accessory on their head, for example for a driver's license. Imagine the face of the police officer checking your documents. Official authorities rarely allow Pastafarians to do this, but in some cases it has been possible, and in many different countries such as the USA, Austria, Belgium, and Russia. Colourful ladies. Do you have a favorite color? Most people don't care about colors once they grow up, but not the stars of this video. Each of them loves a particular color. Which one? Let's find out. Sandra Ramos lives in the woods of Ringwood, New Jersey. She dyes her hair purple, has a purple house, purple clothes and accessories. Even her car is purple. Only her cat doesn't match this purple splendor. Even though Sandra is in her 70s, she's not planning on growing up. On the contrary, she enjoys her life the way it is and lives in harmony with nature. You know, hugging trees and stuff like that. By the way, her passion for purple is not the whim of an old person. The photos show that Sandra discovered her favorite color a long time ago, and she doesn't plan on changing it. Valeria McCulloch is an artist from New York, also known as Val Bluff or the Blue Lady. Valeria started wearing blue about 20 years ago when she first came to New York, but she doesn't like every single shade, but one in particular, International Klein Blue. Most likely, when it comes to blue, this is the color you imagine in your head. People often wear green on St. Patrick's Day, but Elizabeth Sweetheart does it all year round. She's the famous Green Lady of Brooklyn, which makes her sound like a wizard or a witch. Elizabeth has green clothes, green hair, green makeup, and green accessories. Her house is also decorated in shades of green, so it looks like it's covered in grass or a layer of moss. No wonder the Green Lady has become a celebrity in her neighborhood, and online as well. Ella London's alias is Miss Sunshine, which comes as no surprise. This girl loves yellow. Her love for yellow began around 2013, and since then everything around Ella is a bright solar hues. Even her food is yellow, but this obsession has a pretty serious reason. Yellow was Ella's father's favorite color. The man even painted the doors and the windows of his house this color. Unfortunately, Ella's father died when Miss Sunshine was only 2 months old. Now Ella considers yellow an integral part of her life. Pink is considered Barbie's color, and some think it's a color exclusive to little girls. But Kitten K Sarah is 50 years old and has been wearing pink since she was 20. Pink closets, pink walls, pink bed, pink clothes. The house of the Pink Lady of Hollywood looks like a doll's house. Even the hair of Kitten's favorite dog is pink. And finally, we have Connie Casillas, who decided not to limit herself to one color because she likes all the colors of the rainbow. All her clothes, things, and even Connie's hair look like a rainbow. When she can't find properly colored objects, she just creates them on her own. Living without money. It's hard to imagine modern life without a lot of things. For example, without quality medical care, or without internet, or without money. But Heide Marie Schwirmer proved with her own example that living without money is possible. Schwirmer was a psychotherapist. She taught for 20 years and had 2 children and 3 grandchildren. Heide Marie came up with the idea of giving up money in the mid-1990s. At first, she launched her own network to exchange services, goods, and everything she needed. No money. You simply lend the other person a service, and that person does something for you in return. The network was designed to help homeless and poor people, but soon other people began to join in. Schwirmer realized that money wasn't necessary to live, and in 1996, she quit using it altogether. She wrote several books, held lectures, and never regretted her choice. Unfortunately, on March 23, 2016, Heide Marie Schwirmer died after a long struggle with cancer. Strong family. Professional weightlifters Nick Best and his wife Callie Best have dedicated their lives to building muscle. Moreover, their 2 children took after them as well. This family has taken strength training to a new level. They have a special program and train a total of 240 hours a week. Dylan, who is only 11 years old when this video was made, confesses that sports training for him is like drinking coffee in the morning for grown-ups. If he doesn't train, he doesn't feel right. Despite his young age, Dylan can already lift weights of up to 68 kilograms. Dylan's younger sister Jessica can lift weights of up to 45 kilos, although she definitely weighs much less. You may think that kids don't like this kind of training, but it seems like everyone in the family's having fun. I want to be like my mummy because she's pretty and strong, Jessica explained. Old school couple. Everyone can be weird in their own way, but it's best when your quirks match those of your significant other. Sarah and Gabriel Chrisman from Seattle are obsessed with the Victorian era. They've both always felt drawn to the past, so you could say that Sarah and Gabriel have found their soulmates. First, they started dressing in a Victorian style. Sarah even wears a corset all the time. Then they bought a house built in 1888 and replaced all the modern appliances with antique ones. For several years now, the spouses have lived as if they were in the 19th century. They ride around on their vintage bicycles, read a lot, cook only recipes from Victorian cookbooks. Gabriel and Sarah also use kerosene or oil lamps, but still have electricity in their house. However, they prefer not to use this type of lighting, because it wasn't common in Victorian times. To keep warm, the couple uses gas heaters and kerosene. Instead of an electric stove with an oven, the couple uses a wood-burning stove. In addition, they store the groceries in a special drawer with ice. Of course, the family doesn't have cell phones or other gadgets, and there's no internet, so unfortunately, Gabriel and Sarah probably won't see this video. Homeless by choice. People end up on the streets for all kinds of reasons. It can be because of illness, fraud, a family tragedy. In any case, there are many reasons. But usually no one becomes homeless voluntarily, except for Armando Esposito. This man from Mexico lives on the streets of New York City, but being homeless doesn't mean that Armando is a hobo. He has a job, pays his taxes, he likes to swim, and even finds time to watch Netflix. Without spending anything on rent, Armando saves up to $1,500 a month. And he's been living like this for 4 years. According to Armando, he likes living on the streets of New York. He showers at a gym near his work and sleeps in different places, in a cemetery for example. Would you dare to live like this? Adult baby. It's hard for us all to say goodbye to our childhood, and maybe that's why some people choose not to. Even as adults, they love to act like children, or even babies, and they love all activities that come with it. Wearing diapers, sleeping in a special crib, drinking from a bottle, and generally acting like a baby. This hobby is not cheap though, and people rarely talk about it with their friends, and we can see why. Psst! Dude, are you looking for new technologies and great gadgets? Are your thoughts focused on the future? Do you love huge vehicles and can't imagine your life without robots around you? Then visit TechZone and you'll find all this and more. The link is in the description. You interested? Great.